YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy ConcisetheBarber, and we are back. I told y'all that I was going to do a top 6, but which is the top 3 that I would pick. I'm not going to do any order, but this I think is a healthy comparison on the top clippers that are out right now, and I'm going to give you my breakdown on what I like, why I like them, and why did I pick these top 3 over the other 3. So let's go ahead and get into this video and let me see what I got to say about these.
CTB, you know who it is.
All right, so as y'all see, man, I got some nice healthy clippers. We got the JRL, the Andis Phenom. We have the T45 and the Saber 2.0, and we have the Wahl Vapor and the Rebel 2.0. So in this top 6 clippers right here, I wanted to do this video for y'all just so y'all can see what's out there and how I compare them, and what I honestly think is a healthy top 3 to have in your station if you are looking. So that being said, let's just go ahead and talk about this. There's a few things we're going to talk about. I'm not going to dive into too much stuff. I did a concise review on each and every last one of these, so you guys can go on my channel and check them out. But I am going to give you the real significant points that might make your decision and why I made my top 3 the top 3. So I'm just going to go ahead and just go down the line, and we're just going to start that way. So with the Andis Phenoms, right? I have to talk about these. These things right here, man, is a great clipper, especially for beginning barbers and also barbers that like to honestly be able to switch out blades, because this gives you that option to have a detachable blade. The dope thing about it being an Andis clipper is because now you're able to use Andis blades and continue to switch them out with the same clipper. That is a dope thing for us to have. You're able to use the purple double mag guards, you're able to switch out some Andis blades, and you can do some amazing work with their blades. They still have some of the best blades in the game. How can you be upset with this? This is a brushless motor. On their website, it's $179.99. It gives you 7,000 RPMs with a 2.5-hour runtime. So I'm not mad at what they did with the Andis Phenoms. I definitely think that this is a healthy clipper to pick up, and I can see this being in, you know, some people's top 5, maybe even top 10. Some people might not have it up that high, but it is really up there, especially if you allow yourself to really utilize what this thing can offer. So for me, Andis Phenoms is easy a healthy top 6 clipper. Now let's get into the Saber 2.0. I did just recently talk about these. I did a concise review and also the comparison with the Rebel 2.0. These are still around $319.95 on the website. You do get the 7,200 RPMs, 2.5 hours of runtime. It does come with the Echo blade. You do get USB-C. It is all metal body. They had 3 different options. You can get this in white, black, and gold, but it doesn't come with customizable lids like as the whole face of it, but just the top area. So it's a great clipper, performs well, it's nice and quiet, fits well in hand, nice compact clipper. It does everything that you need it to do. Eon brushless motor. It's one of those clippers that easily can just stay on somebody's station for a very long time. Like, this is a heavy duty clipper. Definitely feel like Stylecraft did a great job with that. So easily somebody's top 5, maybe even top 3 or top 6. So that's why it's in my top 6. Now, this one always gets some controversy. I'm not sure why, but the Wahl Vapor, this thing is a beast. F32 fade out blade. I do use this for majority of my fading and like detailing, tweaking things if I need to. This is that clipper. Like, this clipper, 8,000 RPMs, 2.5-hour runtime. It is $199 on Wahl's website, but for me, like, it's the quality of it, how it cuts. This F32 fade out is for fading. It is for fading. So if you want something that is strictly for fading, I cannot say that the Wahl is not going to perform well. It is going to perform well. This is a brushless motor, like I said, 8,000 RPM. So that being said, it's going to give you the power that you need. It is going to help you out with your fading system if need be, but you cannot deny that this thing cannot fade out very, very well. That's why it's called the F32 fade out blade. This is one of those sleepers. I honestly feel like that people sleep on it due to the fact that it's great for that thing in itself. I mean, I think there's a few things out there that it's like, we know that it's like it performs 100% just in that area. but I'm not saying that this thing can't bald out. I'm not saying none of that, but where it shines the best is fading. Now we got the newest clipper that's on here, which is the Rebel 2.0 with the Echo blade and the blue cutting blade, ceramic cutting blade. This thing is a beast. I did a comparison with the Saber 2.0 and I did give an edge up on this due to the fact that this is $199.95. It still gives you the same 7,200 RPMs and it gives you the same 2.5 hour runtime as the Saber 2 does. So for me, this gate got an edge, and you still get your USB-C options. You get the customizable lids, you know, the pink and the black. Has the OG feel. We got a new click lever of the feel. It is a plastic body. It has a little bit of weight to it, so I don't mind it. Of course, I do like a heavier clipper, but that being said, this is a beast. There's no problem with how this thing performs. I do like the fact that it does have the Echo blade. Now, if this didn't have the Echo blade and it was still at this, how it sounds without the Echo blade, I think that I probably wouldn't pick it up so much. But knowing that that crunch sound is going to be there, it actually helps alleviate just the sound in general, because now I'm just focused on the crunch. Now, let's get to the T45. T45 for me it was the Clipper of the Year last year. It won the award. It won the Combo of the Year. People saying that I was crazy for that, but like I said, it's all perspective and I could back it up, you know, why I think this is the best clipper. So right now, everything honestly is competing with this to me. Very, very great clipper. Ergonomically, this is probably the most ergonomic clipper out so far on this list. The click lever, I do love. 4-hour runtime, brush rotary motor. You got 2 speeds, 6,800 RPMs to 7,500 RPMs. So I definitely think that that's a nice, you know, 1-2 speed to have. Debulks well, fades well, blade doesn't get hot. It does have a click lever, does not have floating. You could probably take out that little bulb, you know, that little spring air thing that makes it click, and you could probably make it float, but I really wasn't focusing on this having a floating lever, but it doesn't. This thing can charge 3 different ways. You get USB-C, the regular charging port, or cordless wireless charging on the charging pad. So for me, this thing kind of like does it all, and it has it all at the same time, other than the floating lever. But other than that, this is Clipper of the Year. It's still on the top 6. Now we got the JRL Diamante. This thing, I have to say, now this is the longest one, but it actually feels very well in the hand. I would have to say it's probably like second on this list, second to third, because I do like how the vapors feel when it comes to ergonomics. The JRL click lever is famous. Like, everybody compares the smoothest of the clicks to a JRL click. If it's not beating a JRL click, then we'd be like, oh, you know, it's a nice click, but it ain't like the JRL. Like, that is literally a saying in the barbering industry. So for me, they have a lot of premium quality parts about their clipper, and, you know, also the performance wise as well. I do like the fact that the clipper has the display. The trimmer doesn't. I wish it did, but just talking about the clipper, it does have the display. It does have that rapid recharge piece on the charging dock, which I do love that as well. Rapid recovery, I think it's called rapid recovery, but anyway, that thing that drains the battery and fills the battery back up for longevity of your battery. I do love that. The power, you do get 2 speeds on this as well. You get 6,500 RPMs, then it jumps straight up to 8,200 RPMs. That's the highest one on the list, and actually the lowest one on the list when it comes to like RPM. So it gives you a healthy range. It fades well, it debulks well. It does a lot of things well. Like, there's nothing wrong with this clipper. So this is my top 6. I do like each and every last one of these. It's hard for me to part from these, but it is what it is. But I have to give you a top 3. What is my top 3 out of this list? I have to start off with this. I mean, I think that if I don't start out with the T45, it would be crazy how, you know, that was Clipper of the Year, but now it's not top 3 right now. So out of these 5, what would be next for me? I have to say this is really, really hard because they're all great. But if I had to pick, like, yo, I need to pick this up and I need to utilize this so I can do this, I am going to say this. It is what it is. The Andis Phenoms, only because, and I am going to say not only because, but the fact that I can switch out my blade options with just this clipper alone, I honestly can probably, like, there's a blade that I have that's like the F32. I can put on the Andis Phenoms. Any of these blades that I really want, I could put on Andis Phenom. So for me, putting that in the top 3 wasn't hard at all. The last one though is a hard one for me. So don't beat me up in the comments, please. Like, this is just all not fun and games, but don't take it too serious to the point like, you know, people dismiss people over this stuff. It's all perspective at the end of the day. But my next one that I have to pick, right? Knowing that I can get the same type of cutting due to a certain blade that I have for the Andis Phenoms, I'm going to take that away. This Saber 2.0 and the T45, they have some commonalities on how they feel compact wise. So I really can put that away. You know, I want to pick something that's going to do something that's kind of different. You know, I do have my power, right? I have my power. So that gives me the power. I'm gonna put that away. This does give me power, but this also has a different RPM. This does have the 6,500 RPMs, and I will have to say one of my favorite clippers was the fast feed. So this does give me that feel that I can cut as slow as the fast feeds. I can do some detailing. I could do some different things, but this might surprise some of y'all, but this is my 3. I got the T45, the Andis Phenoms, and the JRL Diamante. Even though you cannot, can they all stand? No, they all can't stand. Don't sleep on these. This is just a top 3 for right now that I had to pick out of this. It was hard, but there's some commonalities that I have with the Rebel and the Saber for the T45. This also, I have a blade that can mimic somewhat of the F32, and this is not something I can mimic in a sense, and this click lever is unmatched. So that is my top 3 out of this top 6. Let me know which ones would you pick and why, but that's what I have for y'all. Thank y'all for watching this video. Can't wait to see y'all in the next one. Be blessed.
CTB. You know who it is.